question of deterring theft using humor raises interesting points about the legal consequences involved. A sign indicating the van contains only $20 in copper highlights the low value of the contents. This could potentially deter opportunistic thieves seeking valuable scrap metal. The sign's secondary message, "Steal this van misdemeanor," humorously points out the potential legal charge associated with stealing the vehicle. The value of the stolen item determines whether the charge is a misdemeanor or a felony. In many jurisdictions, theft of property below a certain value, often a few $100s, is classified as a misdemeanor. The second sign builds on this concept by adding the element of a full tank of gas. It states, "Steal this van with full tank of gas, felony." This introduces the idea that the additional value of the gasoline could elevate the theft to a felony. A felony typically carries more severe penalties than a misdemeanor, including longer prison sentences and larger fines. The distinction between misdemeanor and felony theft often depends on the total value of the stolen goods. The value of the van itself would be a factor. Even with a small amount of copper, the van could still be worth enough to make the theft a felony. The addition of a full tank of gas simply increases the chances of exceeding the threshold for a felony charge. It is important to remember that laws vary by jurisdiction. What constitutes a misdemeanor or a felony in one location may be different in another. The specific dollar amounts that differentiate between the two types of charges can vary widely. Factors beyond the value of the stolen item can also influence the severity of the charges. For instance, if the theft involves violence or the threat of violence, it is likely to be charged as a more serious crime regardless of the value of the stolen property. Similarly, if the thief has a prior criminal record, the penalties may be enhanced. The signs in the van are intended to be humorous. They do highlight a real legal principle: the value of stolen goods affects the severity of the criminal charges. It is important to note that attempting to deter crime through signage is not a substitute for proper security measures. While a funny sign might dissuade some potential thieves, it is unlikely to deter a determined criminal. Measures such as alarms, security cameras, and GPS tracking devices can provide a more effective means of protecting property. Understanding the local laws regarding theft and property crime is essential for both property owners and potential offenders. Knowing the potential consequences of stealing can help individuals make informed decisions and avoid legal trouble. From a property owner's perspective, understanding these laws can help them take appropriate steps to protect their belongings and report any crimes to the authorities. From a legal perspective, the elements of theft generally include taking possession of someone else's property without their consent, with the intent to permanently deprive them of it. The prosecution must prove each of these elements beyond a reasonable doubt in order to secure a conviction. The defense may argue that the accused did not have the intent to steal, or that they had a legitimate claim to the property. The legal definition of theft can be complex and may vary depending on the jurisdiction. Some states have consolidated various theft-related offenses, such as larceny, embezzlement, and fraud, into a single theft statute. Other states may maintain separate statutes for each type of offense. Larceny typically involves the trespasser taking and carrying away of someone else's property with the intent to steal it. Embezzlement involves the misappropriation of property that has been entrusted to someone. Fraud involves the use of deception to obtain property or services from someone else. The penalties for theft can vary widely depending on the value of the stolen property, the circumstances of the offense, and the offender's prior criminal record. In addition to fines and imprisonment, a person convicted of theft may also be required to pay restitution to the victim to compensate them for their losses. A theft conviction can also have other consequences, such as difficulty finding employment or obtaining credit. It is important to remember that the legal system is complex and that the outcome of any case depends on the specific facts and circumstances involved. Anyone facing theft charges should seek the advice of a qualified attorney to protect their rights and interests. The value of gasoline is constantly fluctuating, so a full tank of gas may not always be enough to elevate a theft to a felony. The value of the van itself would also be a significant factor. The signs are more of a humorous commentary on the legal system than a precise legal analysis. The intent is to deter theft through humor rather than providing legal advice. It is always best to consult with an attorney for legal advice specific to your situation. The laws regarding theft vary by jurisdiction, so it is important to be aware of the laws in your area. The value of stolen property is a key factor in determining the severity of the charges. Other factors, such as the use of violence or the offender's prior criminal record, can also affect the penalties. The signs and the van are a creative way to deter theft, but they are not a substitute for proper security measures. Alarms, security cameras, and GPS tracking devices can provide more effective protection. The message the signs provide is that the risk of being caught and prosecuted outweighs the potential reward. By highlighting the legal consequences of theft, the signs attempt to discourage potential thieves. The signs are a form of social commentary on the legal system and the value we place on material possessions. They raise questions about the relationship between crime, punishment, and economic inequality. The effectiveness of the signs as a deterrent is debatable, but they do spark conversation and raise awareness about the issue of theft. The signs are a reminder that even seemingly minor crimes can have serious legal consequences. They also highlight the importance of respecting other people's property and avoiding actions that could lead to criminal charges. The signs are a unique example of how humor can be used to address serious issues and promote responsible behavior. They demonstrate the power of creativity to engage people and encourage them to think about the consequences of their actions. The signs are a reflection of our society's complex relationship with crime, punishment, and the pursuit of wealth. They invite us to consider the ethical implications of our choices and the importance of upholding the law. The underlying message of the signs is that honesty and integrity are essential values in a just and equitable society. They remind us that even small acts of kindness and respect can make a big difference in the lives of others. The signs serve as a reminder that we are all responsible for creating a safe and harmonious community. By working together to prevent crime and promote positive values, we can build a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. The signs are a testament to the power of human ingenuity to find creative solutions to complex problems. They demonstrate that even in the face of adversity, we can use our wit and humor to inspire hope and promote positive change. The signs are a symbol of resilience and determination in the face of challenges. They remind us that even when things seem difficult, we can always find ways to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. The signs are a tribute to the human spirit and unwavering pursuit of justice, equality, and a better world. They inspire us to continue working towards a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. The effectiveness of the signs will likely depend on the potential thief's perception of the risk involved and their motivation for committing the crime. Someone desperate for money might still attempt to steal the van, regardless of the signs. However, someone who is simply looking for an easy target might be deterred by the signs and choose to move on to another vehicle. It is important to note that the signs could also have unintended consequences. For example, they could attract unwanted attention to the van or make it a target for vandalism. The owner of the van should carefully consider the potential risks and benefits before deciding to display the signs. Signs are a form of risk communication, attempting to convey information about the potential consequences of stealing the van. The effectiveness of risk communication depends on several factors, including the clarity of the message, the credibility of the source, and the audience's perception of the risk. In this case, the message is clear and humorous, but the credibility of the source is uncertain. The audience's perception of the risk will depend on their individual circumstances and their knowledge of the law. The signs are a reminder that we all have a role to play in preventing crime. By taking simple steps to protect our property and reporting suspicious activity to the authorities, we can help to create a safer community for everyone. The signs are a symbol of hope that even small acts of creativity and humor can make a difference in the fight against crime. They remind us that we are not powerless in the face of adversity and that we can all contribute to building a better world. The signs are a testament to the enduring human spirit and our unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and a better future for all.